So students, in our last class we were learning chapter reproduction in organisms. We were learning how different organisms reproduce in different way. So we were actually learning that is pre-fertilization stage. So once again we will recall what we have learned in last class, then we will go further. So we were discussing about what actually happens before fertilization. That stage is called pre-fertilization. Name only says pre means before fertilization. Then exactly when male and female gametes meet, like male gamete is male sex cell, female gamete is female sex cell. When they meet, that process is called fertilization. Like in human beings, male gamete is sperm produced by human male. Female gamete is egg produced by human female. When sperm and egg meets, that is fertilization. So what happens before fertilization is sperm and egg should be produced in the body. If they are available, then only they can meet. So it should be produced in the body. So whatever happens before sperm meets the egg, that is before fertilization, we call that stage as pre-fertilization. Then exactly when they are ready, when they are produced, human male produced sperm, female produced egg, when they are ready, then fertilization will happen. Fertilization means they meet, male and female gametes meet, that is fertilization. Union of male and female gametes we call fertilization. Then whatever happens after fertilization, we call that stage as post fertilization changes. We have already learned this in last class. This is just a recalling last class. Under pre-fertilization, two stages are there. First one is production of gamete in their body. So that is called gametogenesis. You already know this. Gametogenesis means gamete means sex cell, genesis means formation. Process of formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. Like if we take example of gametogenesis in human beings, already human reproduction chapter you have learned. Formation of sperm in the testis of human male is called spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is a type of gametogenesis because sperm is a male gamete. So male gametogenesis is spermatogenesis. Female gamete is egg. So formation of egg in the ovary of female we call oogenesis. You already know this. So first gamete should be produced. Sorry. Chalk dust. Then once gametes are produced, they have to be transferred. Okay. So that is process is called gamete transfer. If you remember in our last class, we have discussed in detail about gametogenesis. Today in this class we have to learn gamete transfer. Okay. Then we will learn what exactly is fertilization. Then we go to post fertilization. That is, already you know what is post fertilization. When sperm meets the egg, it produces zygote. Okay, so next step should be zygote formation. You have already learned human reproduction chapter, you know this, but also it is my duty to explain once again. So after zygote formation, zygote transforms into embryo. Zygote produces embryo, next stage, so it is embryogenesis. Once again, genesis means formation. Formation of embryo is called embryogenesis. So these are what we are going to learn in entire chapter in 3 statements I have given. So now already in last class we have learned gametogenesis. Today we have to learn about gamete transfer. Not only in human beings or not only in animals, we have to see in plants, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, all that. So today we are going to learn about gamete transfer. Okay, so I will rub this. If we want this, we can write at that side so that on left side it is easy for me to write. Same thing what I wrote here, I will write here. So let it be there in one corner so that this side I can completely use for teaching, and the right side it is just for your reference. So it is, first stage is pre-fertilization. These three stages are events of sexual reproduction. We have already learned in last class. Events: pre-fertilization, then fertilization, then post-fertilization changes. Under pre-fertilization, what is that? Gametogenesis. Under pre-fertilization, gametogenesis, just now what I wrote there, and gamete transfer. In last class, gametogenesis already we finished. Today we have to discuss gamete transfer. Then fertilization we will discuss. Then post-fertilization, under that same thing what I wrote, zygote formation. Then zygote transforms into embryo, so it will be embryogenesis. So let us see how gamete transfer occurs in different organisms. I'll write in capitals. Gamete transfer in different organisms. Name only says gamete transfer means two gametes are produced in two different organisms, or sometimes two gametes will be produced by the same organism but they are distant from each other, distance is there between them, so physically they have to be brought together. ಅಂದರೆ ಎರಡು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಅದೆರಡನ್ನು ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ನಾವು ಎರಡನ್ನು ಹತ್ರ ತರಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಆಕರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ಮೀಟ್ ದ ಎಗ್, ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮೇಲ್, female produces egg. How they will come together? It has to be brought together. That is what is gamete transfer. Okay, so physically male and female gametes should be brought together. Should be brought together. In most of the organisms, only male gamete will be motile. Motile means what? Has ability to move from one place to other place. But female gamete will be fixed, stationary. It doesn't move. Stationary or non-motile. Can also say non-motile. Meaning is what? We can take example of human beings, where sperm, human male produces sperm. Sperm has tail. With that tail, it beats the tail and it can swim in female reproductive tract and reach the egg. But egg doesn't come out. Egg remains in the female body. So only male has to travel. So sperm is motile, egg is non-motile. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಗೆ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಗ್ ರಿಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಮೂವ್, ಸೊ ಮೊಟೈಲ್. ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ will not be motile. Okay, so in majority of the organisms, exceptions are there in some fungi and some algae. Some fungi and some algae, some exceptions are there that both the gametes are motile here. Both male and female gametes have ability to move. Both will move. Okay, so both gametes are motile in not all fungi, not all algae. In some fungi and some algae where both are motile. Then In majority of the organisms like algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, they need water medium for transport of gametes. Water medium, like you have already learnt in algae and bryophytes, algae especially zoospores. Do you know that in algae especially zoospores will be like this? It will be having two flagella. They beat the flagella and they swim in water and reach. Okay, so then in case of bryophytes, in bryophytes also antherozoids will be like this only, that is a male gamete. Antherozoids will swim and reach the egg. Okay, so that is why it requires a water as a medium. Then even in pteridophytes also, for sexual reproduction they need water, because male gamete will swim in water and reach female gamete. So water medium is required in some organisms, like I told you, some in algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. Because what we are learning is gamete transfer, how it gets transferred from one place to other place. So in algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, they need water medium for transport of gametes. If male gamete called antherozoid should swim in water and reach female gamete egg, then they need water medium. Okay, so some organisms require water medium for their movement. Okay, then large number of gametes, most of the gametes, large number of gametes fail to meet the female gamete. Intention of male gamete is to meet the female gamete, but large number of male gametes fail to meet female gamete. What happens? Suppose this is now male gamete and this is female gamete. Suppose female gamete is only one and male gametes are suppose 5,000. Okay, out of 5,000, sometimes not even single out of 5,000 will meet female gamete. Not possible only. Fails. Female gamete is only one, suppose egg. Okay, but male gametes are suppose antherozoids or any other male gamete. Okay, so sometimes out of 5,000, not even one, 0 gametes will meet the egg. They fail to meet. That is why in some organisms, especially lower organisms, male gametes number produced will be so many times, 1,000 times more than female gamete. Means suppose female gamete is only one produced, male gametes will be more than 1,000 produced, because to compensate the loss of male gametes. Because see, suppose out of 1,000 gametes, male gametes, only one meets the egg. Remaining 999 will get wasted. Means the male gamete doesn't reach that area, it goes to somewhere else. You think suppose in the flower, suppose this is a gynoecium or pistil, you already know this is stigma, style, ovary, and here pollen grains are there in the anther. Suppose pollen grains produced are 5 lakhs pollen grains. Okay, and egg, suppose only one egg is there in the ovule, single ovule is present, only one egg is there. Out of 5 lakh pollen grains contain male gamete. What should happen by pollination? Suppose wind carries all the pollen grains. Pollen grains are like a dust-like particle. Suppose strong wind is there, wind will carry the pollen grains. Instead of falling on stigma, they will fall somewhere else. They will either fall here, or they will fall here, or they will fall here, or they may fly somewhere else and fall somewhere else. Okay, but out of 5 lakh, not even single will fall here. That means they failed to meet the female gamete. So what happens? Suppose out of 5 lakh, suppose one by mistake falls on here, then it will germinate and fertilization occurs. Okay, so that is why chances of male gamete meeting the female gamete is less. So to compensate loss of male gametes produced, their number produced will be more than female gamete. Because female gamete is fixed, it doesn't move anywhere. Okay, but male gamete has to move from one part to other part, either one plant to other plant or from one flower to other flower. It has to move, it has to travel a distance. What is the guarantee, what is the surety that wind will carry pollen grains and it will fall only here on the stigma? It may fall somewhere else. So what I am saying, why male gamete produced will be only one or some number, but male gamete produced will be thousand times more than female gamete, because chances of meeting male gamete with female gamete is less. Out of 5 lakh, 1 or 2 may fall here, remaining 4 lakh 99,000, no, 4,99,999 pollen grains are lost somewhere, did not fall on the stigma. So it is a loss to the plant. So to compensate this loss, they produce pollen grains or male gametes in 1,000 times more than female gamete. Then you may ask question, what if male gamete produces also only one? If male gamete produces only one, what is the guarantee that it will fall here only? The chances of one gamete falling on stigma is very difficult, very rare. 99.9% it doesn't fall here, it will fall somewhere else only. 0.1% chance that only single male gamete will fall here. So if male gamete doesn't fall here, then no fertilization. If no fertilization, no fruit is produced. If no fruit, no seed. If no seed, no next plant. Okay, so that is why to increase the chances of fertilization and to compensate the loss of male gametes, male gamete produced, their number will be 1,000 times more than female gamete. Okay, I hope you are understanding what I am saying. So next, so this much one sentence in the textbook, but to make you understand that one sentence, I have to struggle. I have to not struggle, I have to put lot of effort to explain, because that concept particularly you have to understand. Okay, so next point, if we have to learn, okay, in seed plants, especially seed plant means plants which produce seeds like gymnosperms and angiosperms. In seed plants, which plant produce seeds? Gymnosperms, naked seeded plant, what we call, you already know this, and angiosperms, that is flowering plants. They are seed producing plants, no? So where in case of seed producing plants, pollen grains produced in the anther carry male gamete. They carry male gamete because you know pollen grains will have a structure like this. You already know this. Pollen grain will have a structure where two cells will be there, vegetative and generative, and these nuclei, what is there, no? Vegetative nuclei and generative nuclei, these two are gametes. Pollen grain is a gamete containing structure. So pollen grains carry male gamete and it should be transferred to female gamete, that is egg, and egg will be present inside in the ovule. So they have to carry, the pollen grains should be carried from one flower to other flower, or from one plant to other plant. It has to be carried, isn't it? So pollen grains produced in anthers have to be transferred to stigma before fertilization. See, I will show you. In case of seeded plant, you have already learned the flower structure. So male gamete is anthers. This is an anther. Sorry. Male gamete is called stamen or androecium. Androecium or stamen. And stamen has two parts. This is the anther and this is filament. You already know this. And within this anther, it produces millions of very small, like a chalk dust particle. They produce pollen grains. You already know, you have done some practicals also on this. They produce pollen grains inside, and pollen grains contain male gametes. That is two nuclei. What is there inside? Two new vegetative and generative nuclei. These are the gametes, male gametes. So pollen grains are gamete containing structure produced in the anther. So this pollen grain should be transferred from anther to stigma. It has to be transferred to stigma. So you can see here. Okay, or I will show like this. Ovules will be there inside, and ovules contain egg. So the pollen grains should be transferred from anther to stigma. So pollen grains will come and land here, then it produces pollen tube, and pollen tube runs into the style and enters the ovule. Then double fertilization, triple fusion happens. Last year we have learnt it. So the male gamete is inside the pollen grain. Pollen grain has to be transferred to stigma of stigma. This is female reproductive tract. Stigma, style, ovary. This is a female part called gynoecium. You already know. We are learning what now? Gamete transfer. Male gamete is there in the pollen grain. It has to be transferred from anther to stigma. So transfer happens, and this process is called as pollination. You know, transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called pollination. So pollination is a method of gamete transfer in case of seeded plants which contains seeds. Then what happens later it produces fruit. After pollination, after fertilization, fruits will be produced. So fertilization happens like this, okay, in seeded plants. Then let us see in some plants, like in case of bisexual plant or bisexual flowers, what happens? We will see. In bisexual flowers, like for example, you take example pea plant. You take pea plants where both male and female in the same plant. Then what happens? Where male and female are together, like in a flower. This is suppose stigma. Okay, ovules are there here with the egg. Then here stamens are there. Okay, now what will happen in this flower? Anther will release pollen grains, and it will somehow comes in contact with stigma. It will fall on the stigma. Okay, then it is very near, because male and female gametes are nearby. They are close to each other because they are present in the same flower. So they will come close to each other, because anther and stigma both are nearby. So pollen grains doesn't have to carry long distance, very close to each other. Or sometimes what happens, this anther will be there on the top like this. So when they open, when the anthers open, pollen grain has to fall downwards only, so it will fall on the stigma. Okay, this is nothing but self-pollination. Self means within the same flower. That is in case of bisexual flowers like pea plants. Pea plants, you know, batani now green peas, no, peas. In peas, that is bisexual flower, where single flower contains both male and female gametes. Okay, both male and female reproductive structures. So anther and stigma both are in the same flower. Because they are very close, the pollen grains will fall on the stigma there only. This is easy. Okay, but this is called self-pollination. Self means within the same flower. Pollen grains of the same flower falls on the stigma of the same flower, then it is self-pollination. Self means within themselves. Then what about in case of cross-pollination? Suppose plant undergoes cross-pollination, cross-pollinated plant. What will happen? Because here suppose this is one plant, okay, with flower A, and this is other plant with flower B. Okay, suppose this plant has only male flowers. And this plant has only female flowers. Then what will happen? Cross-pollination has to happen there. Because no other chance, because here only male flowers are there in this plant, no female flowers. Here no male flowers. So pollen grains from the anther of plant A should go to plant B. It has to go, no other way. This is called cross-pollination. Cross-pollination means pollen grains of anther of flower of plant A to stigma of plant B. So this is cross-pollinated plant, and two plants are different. Lot of distance is there between two plants. How it will get transferred? Some agents are required for this, some mediators like brokers. So either it will be abiotic agents. Abiotic means non-living, like wind and water. If water carry pollen grains or wind carry pollen grains, water and wind are non-living things. They are called abiotic. Biotic means living organisms are involved. So the agents can be biotic or abiotic. Abiotic means wind and water. So wind will carry pollen grains or water will carry pollen grain. Then it is non-living things, so they are abiotic. Biotic factor means some insects or some living agents are involved. Like for example, some insects will carry, like honeybees or bumblebees. Okay, some insects will carry pollen grain from one flower to other flower. Then it is biotic. Living organism is involved. Okay, they just transfer, but on its own it is not transferred. Some agents are required, some brokers are required. This is like how, you know, you want to buy one house and other person is selling a house and you don't know each other. Okay, you are A and other person is B. You want a house, okay, and he wants to sell it, but you don't know each other. Then in between one real estate agent will come, broker. He will show you this house. Okay, you want a house, he wants to sell the house. Then in between one broker will come. Suppose we will consider X is a broker. Okay, he will show you this house. Then you will buy that house. This broker will take commission from you also, commission from him also. 2% commission. Okay, 2% commission is so much because you are buying the house in terms of lakhs or crores. Then 2% is so much. He'll get 2% from buyer also, from seller also. So he is benefited. Okay, but you are not under loss, he is also not under loss. Okay. Okay, because he will bargain. Like whatever he demands, for that money you will not take. He will ask for less, or less you will ask. Then he will bargain. So anyway, we are not discussing that. I am relating that to this concept, where one plant has pollen grain, other plant has stigma, only male, only female. Then the pollen grains has to be transferred to stigma of female flower. Then some agents are required, either insects are involved, or bats are involved. Bats, not cricket bat means bavali, no, bats like mammals are involved. Then in some cases, very less cases, ants are involved. Ants, they also transfer. Then in some cases, snails or slugs are involved. Snails, very less, 0.1%. Okay, so if that we are discussing in next chapter, what all agents are there, how they transfer, that we are learning in this next chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In this chapter you have to just know special mechanism is there for transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of either two different flowers or same plant, two flowers. I will give example. In two cases cross pollination will happen. Either same plant, suppose plant X has two flowers, flower A, flower B. Okay, this is male flower, this is female flower. Same plant. Then pollen grain has to be transferred from male flower to stigma of female flower. Same plant. This is also cross pollination only. Or else second case is, this is plant X, this is plant Y. Plant X produced flower A, plant Y produced flower B. This is male flower, this is female flower. Then from the plant X, pollen grains should be carried to stigma of flower B of plant Y. From one plant to other plant, this is same plant from one flower to other flower. In both the cases it is cross pollination only. Self pollination means what? Self pollination means pollen grains of same flower with stigma of same flower, single flower, both happens, then it is self pollination. Cross pollination means same plant, two different flowers, or two plants, two different flowers, then cross pollination. Okay, crossing means between two plants or between two flowers of the same plant. If within the same flower pollen grains on stigma of the same flower, then it is self pollination. Okay, they are just telling you how pollination happens. In this case, in case of bisexual, the same flower very close there, so the anther will release pollen grain there only because it is very near. In case of cross pollination, some agents are required, brokers or mediators are required, special mechanism, either non-living will transfer like wind and water, or else biotic agents like some insects will transfer. Okay, so that is pollination will happen like this. So after this we have to learn, with this we finish gamete transfer, but one process in gamete transfer we have to discuss, that is in case of animals and in human beings. What will happen? In human beings, sperm has to be transferred from human male to female by sex or mating. There is a last part under gamete transfer. In case of human beings, in humans or in other animals like dogs, horse, donkey, in all these animals, in monkeys, in all these animals, sperm is a male gamete and egg is a female gamete. Where sperm is motile, it has ability to move from one place to other place, then egg is stationary, fixed, doesn't move. So sperm has to be transferred from male to female by what process? Where male and female should come together, that is called mating, sexual act, or you can say copulation. Already in human reproduction chapter we have learned, because sperm has to be transferred by the male to female. So mating will happen, or sex or sexual act or intercourse or copulation, different words are used, already you have learnt in human reproduction chapter. So these are the methods of gamete transfer. Now in next class we will learn about fertilization process, because gamete transfer is over. Male and female gametes came together by gamete transfer. Next is they have to meet and fertilization will happen. So in next class we will discuss about fertilization. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you.